Oi, fala aí pessoal, bom dia. Você está escutando
o Inglês no Rádio.
I am your host, Foster Hodge. This is your daily dose of English. Yo, yo, yo. What up, my home dogs? We got DJ Alexia in the house.
Ridiculous.
What's up, Alexia? How you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I am doing wonderfully. Thank you.
Great.
So, Alexia, you just spent 3 months in the U.S., traveling around the Southeast in the U.S., and now you're back in Rio. Yeah?
Unfortunately, yes, I'm back in Rio.
Unfortunately, don't say that. Why do you say that?
Nah, because I wasn't ready to come back home and I really wanted to spend Christmas with snow.
Yeah, but you got those scary immigration officials that will they want you to go back home.
Yes, that's true. And for those who hadn't listened to my experience coming in to United States, you should. It's Atlanta Airport, the name of the podcast.
Yes, that is episode 7 of Inglês no Rádio, Atlanta Airport. Uma história de comédia e terror. It's pretty funny. Cool. So, Alexia, I want to talk to you about your English progress and just some of the improvements that you made during your time here. So, do you feel like in 3 months in the U.S. you had the opportunity to improve your English?
Yes, of course. No doubt about it.
Nice. And what in particular do you think you improved? Like your speaking, your ability to understand native speakers? What are you better at now?
I think that now I understand more the culture of South Carolina, Southeast United States.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I am better on understanding who live there, right?
Yeah. So one more time, you are better at, we are always better at things, better at understanding who lives there.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, of course, on the end of my trip.
Mm-hmm. At the end of my trip.
I was already really, really better. And like, I'm almost 1 week here back in Rio and I got worse. So
Don't blame it on Rio. So,
no, I blame it on me. It's not on Rio.
Yeah. So I think that's really interesting what you said, that part of your improvements with English had to do with kind of an increase in cultural awareness and increase in cultural intelligence. So you think that's a big part of language, is just kind of understanding the people and the culture? Do you think that helps you speak and understand better?
Yes, of course. I think it's one of the main parts of it.
Yeah. I think it's totally undervalued, underestimated when people learn English and they're just like in a class reading about a book. That doesn't have anything to do with the people that actually speak that language. So I always recommend, if you want to learn a language, find people that speak that language and start learning everything you can about them, like what they eat, what they do, what kind of music they listen to, where they hang out, culture. Culture,
Yes.
Man. Culture matters. So, let me ask you a really hard question, Alexia. How would you classify your English now? Like, would you say you're an advanced speaker? Would you say you're fluent? Would you?
No, I'm not fluent. I'm advanced. That's for sure.
Okay.
But I'm way far from being fluent, I think.
Okay. I disagree. I do have a much more liberal version of fluency than most language teachers. So when I talk about fluency, I really talk about conversational fluency. Like, you can talk to my parents or any of my friends, and you can have a conversation with everybody, right?
Yes, I can. I think so.
Yeah, sometimes you miss some things or you don't explain things in such a sophisticated way as you would in Portuguese, but you can get by, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for me that's conversational fluency. Like, I consider myself conversationally fluent in Portuguese, but my Portuguese compared to my English is terrible, you know.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I mean, of course, I continue making some mistakes, and I wish I I didn't do it anymore. But it was only 3 months, if you think about it as well. I think if I would spend a year at United States, I would be
In the
really,
United
really,
States.
really better with my prepositions, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So for you 3 months doesn't seem like much time.
It is. It's 1 month is nothing, I think. I spent 1 month in England when I was 16 years old, and it was awesome. And I learned a lot, but it's only 4 weeks. It's not that much. I think if someone is gonna spend um, like a long term in somewhere that they are trying to learn a language, the minimum amount of months should be 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I think my students always ask me, like, when they're preparing trips to the US, like, I'm staying for 4 weeks. Do you think that's enough time? Or how much time do I need? Um,
No, I think it's just because of the cultural thing, because you can't understand properly where you are living and what you're doing in just 1 month, because you get there first week, you are trying to understand. Second week, you're trying to get along. Third week, yeah, this feels good now. And the fourth week, you had to come back home. So,
yeah. Yeah. That's not to say that you don't learn a ton of English in that time if you're really exposed to the language. But really, the thing for me is 1 month is not much time to make friends, like to really have some real relationships and make connections, you know?
yeah, when you're starting to do that, you had to come back. So, I don't know. Of course, it depends on a lot of things, like having money, have the time, having everything. But if you can, at least 3 months.
I think what you're saying is really interesting, and I'm just thinking about it now, but I think more important than just like learning a lot of English is really the ability to make connections and make relationships. And you don't necessarily have to have a lot of money or time to do this. Like, I have some students that I've worked with for, probably 4 years now. So these are people that I talk to a few times a week all the time. And they're some of my really good friends. And I think the cultural connection and the friendship connection that we have together, that increases their fluency more than anything that I can teach them about pronunciation or prepositions or vocabulary, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I kind of had this rule with languages that it's called the one friend rule. So pretty much, if you can show me 100 students learning English, and I can tell you exactly when and which one will be fluent, and it all has to do with, like, when you make one real friend, like not just a Facebook friend, but one real friend that you can call when something goes wrong, someone that you hang out with a lot, that's when you start really getting on the path to fluency. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I
Nice.
mean, I have you and your parents and your friends. So it was hard, but it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any advice to people um, considering doing something like you did, like spending a couple of months in the US?
Yeah, try to, well, if you're gonna study English, of course you have friends, but if you're gonna leave without studying, try to go to a yoga class, any kind of class, or pure bar class, I don't know. And you can start making friends around your new city.
Yeah. Another resource I always recommend is meetup.com. It's just a place to get together with other people that are interested in the same things you're interested in. But yeah, I agree with Alexia. Get out there and make friends. Don't sit in a classroom all day. You show me a student who has some friends, and I will show you a happy English-speaking Brazilian running around the U.S.
Okay, that's it, guys.
Cool. I appreciate it, Alexia. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.